Picture a stone structure weighing an estimated 58 million tons. To walk it end to end, you'd hike over 21,000 kilometers across the most unforgiving terrain on the planet. But look past the idea of a single border. This map of northern China's historical defenses reveals a massive, overlapping web of walls built over centuries by completely different dynasties. To understand why these structures exist at all, we have to look north of the wall, to the Mongolian steppe. Unlike the fertile river valleys of southern China, this arid landscape could barely support crops. The nomadic herders who lived here relied entirely on their livestock. When brutal winters froze the plains, survival often meant riding south to raid Chinese grain stores. Isolated Chinese farming states responded by piling up rammed earth, packing dirt into rigid mounds to block fast-moving cavalry from crossing their fields. These earliest walls were born from a desperate, localized response to a harsh geographic reality. That strategy shifted in 221 BC. Emperor Qin Shi Huang unified China's fractured states into a single empire and immediately launched an ambitious plan to connect these scattered dirt mounds into one continuous imperial barrier. Executing a project of this scale required unimaginable manpower. Emperor Qin conscripted heavily, forcing roughly every third citizen of his new empire into hard labor. The human cost was staggering. Laborers were pushed to the brink in freezing and scorching weather, with an estimated 400,000 workers dying from starvation and exhaustion while packing the dirt and stone. This era left behind dark folktales like the story of Ming, a woman who wept so bitterly over her husband's death that a section of the wall collapsed, revealing his buried bones. The structure earned a grim nickname, the longest graveyard in the world. Ultimately, this first iteration of the Great Wall stood as a massive tomb of rammed earth, born from brutal totalitarian force rather than advanced engineering. By the 13th century, ancient dirt walls had degraded. Genghis Khan and his Mongol cavalry found them easy to bypass, breach, and trample into dust. In 1550, the Ming dynasty faced renewed, terrifying attacks on Beijing. They realized that simple mounds of earth could no longer secure the border. They ordered a massive material escalation, laying down granite foundations and stacking an estimated 4 billion clay bricks to create a towering, rigid fortress. To ensure these bricks withstood heavy sieges, they were fired in kilns to quadruple their strength, then bound together with a mortar of limestone and sticky rice batter. Moving these materials up mountain ridges required a logistical leap. The deployment of the newly invented wheelbarrow allowed laborers to push heavy loads of stone up slopes as steep as 43 degrees. The Ming integrated 25,000 multi-story watchtowers. Each functioned as a self-contained military unit, housing barracks, weapon stores, and observation decks. Zooming out, they formed an ancient information highway. Guards used smoke and fire signals to relay warnings across 620 miles in just hours. The Ming dynasty responded to the steppe with a desperate arms race, transforming a series of old barriers into history's most advanced, sprawling military machine. Yet after 2,000 years of labor and millions of lives lost, the massive Ming Wall eventually failed. And it wasn't because it was destroyed, it was betrayed. In 1644, a Chinese general defending the Shanhai Pass made a calculated decision. He opened the gates, allowing an army of Manchu warriors to walk right through the defenses and conquer China. The victorious Manchu expanded China's borders beyond the wall, rendering the military structure obsolete. Left unmaintained for centuries, local villagers began scavenging its heavy stones to build their own houses. Today, those surviving sections power a massive cultural and economic engine. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the wall draws 10 million visitors and generates over $15.5 billion in revenue annually. The structure is still giving up its secrets. Modern archaeologists continue to unearth long-forgotten sections made of reeds and dirt, buried deep beneath the sands of the Gobi Desert. The Great Wall eventually failed its primary military mission, yet it achieved a different kind of invincibility through sheer endurance. It outlasted the very empires that bled to build it, surviving as the ultimate monument to human ambition.